Hi, welcome to today's gentle flow. For today's practice, you are going to want just a block or thick sturdy book. Shoebox works just fine. And we're going to get started on our back. So if you want to press your soles of the feet into the mat, lowering your chest or your back rather down towards the mat. Give yourself a moment here just to settle in. Reminding ourselves during these gentle practices to give ourselves a little extra time. Allow ourselves to move slowly. Starting here first by just connecting to breath. Soles of feet plant into the mat, knees pointing up towards the sky. Or if it feels better in your body, you can always walk your feet a little wider, allowing your knees to knock in. Just whichever shape feels best for you. And then bringing one hand towards your belly, one hand up towards your heart. We'll start with 3-part breath. You can exhale to prepare. Inhale, fill the belly, chest space, heart space. Exhale, release from the heart space, chest space, belly. Inhale, fill belly, chest space between the ribs, heart space up by the collarbones. Release collarbones, heart space between the ribs, chest space, and down to the belly. Continuing with this pattern of breath at a pace that feels good for you. If you're getting caught up on the different areas in your body you're breathing into, just allow yourself to relax, focusing on just deep breathing, completely filling the lungs and completely releasing. If at any time this starts to feel like you're not getting enough air or causes feelings of anxiety, you can just allow yourself to return to your natural rhythm of breath. Wherever you are, give yourself about 3 more rounds. Allow yourself to complete whatever round you're on. Slowly returning back to that natural pace of breath. Maybe just slightly slower now. Then inhale, extend your right leg up towards the sky. Pausing here with just foot neutral. And then on an inhale, point your toe up towards the sky, really active point. Exhale, flex your toes towards your face. Inhale to point, really active. Exhale, flex. Give yourself about 3 more rounds here, following your pace of breath. Of course, as always, if it feels good to stay in one spot or another, allow yourself to hang there for a little extra time. Pausing next time you have flexed toes. Bend your right knee, resting right ankle over your left knee. Gently encourage your right knee away from your body. It'll want to pull in towards your chest, just activating that outer hip. You're welcome to stay here with left sole of the foot planted on the mat, or bringing your left foot off the mat. Hands come behind your left thigh or around left shin. Again, just increasing the sensation a little bit, but listen to your body here. Giving yourself a few rounds of breath as you settle in. Use your next exhale to lower your foot back to the mat. Right foot back to the mat. And then extend your left leg up towards the sky this time. So again, starting with just that neutral foot. Then inhale, actively press your toes up towards the sky. Exhale, flex toes towards your face. Inhale to point. Exhale, flex. Continuing here at your pace of breath. Noticing where you feel those different sensations. If you feel different sensations, changing that foot position. And then pause next time you come to a flexed foot. Left knee bends, left ankle rests over right knee. It's again reclined figure 4 options. Gently encourage your left knee away from your body first. You're welcome to keep right foot planted or lift it off the mat. Reclined figure 4 on this side. Reminding ourselves our bodies will be different side to side. Honoring what feels best in your body on this side today. Next, exhale, lower your foot back to the mat. Left foot comes back to the mat. And then hug your knees in towards your chest for just a moment. Noticing pressing your low back into the mat. Give yourself a full round of breath here. Inhale to completely fill the lungs. Exhale, release out the mouth. You can inhale, either rock and roll or roll over to one side and make your way up to a seated position. Pausing here in this seated position, a little different. Take your feet about mat's distance. Hands can rest on the front of your knees, top of your shins, and then gently squeeze your shoulder blades together, finding a bit of engagement here. So with feet a bit wider, we're gonna bring in some 90-90, some hip mobility, allowing yourself to listen to your body, find what feels good. You can release hands off your knees and then allow both knees to point towards the left. So hands can stay up here at heart center, or hands behind your hips might give you a little more support. And then rolling back to center, other side, both knees point towards the right, and then come back to center. Give yourself another round here, allow knees to fall to the left, center, and then right, and center. Continuing with that, but pause this time on the left. Bring that left hand behind you, pressing into both knees, lift your hips towards the sky. Right arm comes overhead. Return back to center, and then other side. Both knees point towards the right, right hand behind you. Press into your knees, lift your hips high. Return back to the mat. Give yourself one more round each side. Again, if it doesn't feel good to press into your knees and lift your hips, you can stay with your seat on the mat. Need one more round here. And then back to center. Bringing yourself forward for a tabletop position. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale to drop your belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin. Inhale for cow, belly drops, gaze lifts. Exhale for cat, round the spine, tuck the chin. Give yourself a few more rounds here. You know, I like to encourage any extra movement that feels good. And pausing next time you come towards a neutral spine. Gently hugging that belly button towards your spine. Inhale, sweep your right arm up towards the sky. Exhale, thread the needle. Right arm comes under left. Right shoulder, right ear, maybe right cheek resting on the mat. Here for just a moment. Hips stay lifted. And then gently bringing right hand back to the mat. Other side, inhale, sweep left arm up towards sky. Exhale, thread the needle, other side. Left shoulder, left ear, maybe left cheek resting there. Hips stay lifted. Then returning back to the mat. Walk your hands forward about a handprint. Tuck your toes, lift your hips for down dog. Giving yourself time here to pedal out your dog. Maybe you shift hips side to side. any movement that feels good, or if stillness feels good, allow yourself to hang there. Keeping this down dog shape, a little different transition. Start to walk your hands slowly back towards your feet. So we'll come to standing, or forward fold, I should say, towards the back of the mat. And then slowly roll up to a standing position. Almost like you're stacking vertebrae on top of vertebrae. Crown of the head lifts last. Pause here, eyes can soften or close. Palms open by your hips, facing forward. Giving yourself time in this Tadasana pose. And then taking your feet a bit wider, almost like for Malasana, so about as wide as the mat, but this time keep your toes pointing forward, so hips are squared forward. Inhale, sweep your arms up towards the sky, almost like a star pose. Exhale, sink down for your squat, knees tracking forward. Hands can come to heart center. Inhale, extend, palms reach up. Exhale, sink hands down, heart center, squat. Inhale to extend. Exhale for squat. Give yourself about 3 more rounds here. Again, if it feels good in either one of those positions, stay there for a little extra time. Pausing next time you come towards that squat. Gently pull your back of your head back just a bit, noticing if you're wanting to rock forward, feeling engagement in those legs. Next breath, extend back, arms reach, then hands come back to heart center. You can heel toe your feet back under you, back to standing at the back of the mat. Inhale, reach your arms forward and up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, reach to the sky. Exhale, draw your hands to heart center. Inhale, reaching up once more. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, forward fold. Start to walk your hands forward, returning to that down dog shape. Inhale in down dog. Exhale here. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, reach to the sky. Exhale, draw your hands to heart center. Inhale, reaching up once more, maybe a little back bend here. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands to the mat. Step or hop back to your plank. Inhale and plank on the toes or plank on the knees. Exhale, lower all the way to the mat. Untuck your toes, hands back by hips. Inhale, lift for locust, squeeze your back body. Exhale, back to the mat. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, lift to locust, squeeze your back body. Exhale, back to the mat. Inhale, locust. Exhale, back to the mat. Inhale, press up to plank on the toes or plank on the knees. Exhale, hips up and back, down dog. Give yourself about 3 rounds of breath here. Bringing as much bend to the knees as you need to lengthen your spine and lift your hips towards the sky. Next, inhale, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale to forward fold, hang heavy. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms reach up towards the sky. Exhale, draw your hands to heart center. Give yourself about 3 rounds of breath here in Tadasana. Rooting through both feet equally. Heart pulls towards your thumbs. Crown of the head lifts towards the sky. Next breath, inhale, reach up to the sky, back bend if you want it. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to your plank position. Inhale in plank. Exhale all the way to the mat. Untuck your toes, hands back by hips. Squeeze your back body for locust. Exhale back to the mat. Inhale for locust, squeezing here. Exhale back to the mat. Inhale locust, squeeze. Exhale back to the mat. Inhale, press up to your plank, toes or knees. Exhale, hips up and back, down dog. Give yourself a breath here. Heels reach towards the floor, hips towards the sky. Next, inhale, press into your toes or the balls of your feet. Lift your heels high. Knees come to the mat as wide or as narrow as feels good for you. Sink your hips back for child's pose. Forehead can rest on the mat. Fingertips reaching forward to create space in your side body. Breathe here. Using your next 2 rounds of breath, start to make your way slowly, gently back up to a down dog shape. So passing through tabletop and then lifting hips for a down dog. Inhale, sweep your right leg towards the sky. Exhale, step it between your hands for crescent. All of your toes point towards the top of the mat. Fingertips reach to the sky. Back heel stays lifted here, but press it towards the wall behind you. Helps to open up the quad in that left leg. Inhale, fingertips lift. Exhale, cactus. Squeeze your elbows together, heart lifts. Inhale, arms extend. Exhale to cactus. Inhale, extend. Exhale, cactus. You can bring a bend to that back knee if that feels good. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze and lower. But again, listening to your body. Give yourself about 2 more rounds wherever you are. We'll meet with fingertips lifted. Hands come back to the mat, framing that foot, low lunge. Step right back to downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep left leg to sky. Exhale, step it between your hands, crescent on the other side. Toes point towards the top of the mat. Fingertips lift. Press that back heel towards the back wall. Taking time to set up the shape. Inhale, fingertips reach tall. Exhale, cactus, elbows pull down, shoulder blades squeeze. Inhale to reach. Exhale, cactus. Again, you can bring in that back knee bend if it feels good. But if it doesn't feel right in your practice today, you're welcome to keep that back leg straight and strong. Another round wherever you are. We'll pause with fingertips lifted. Hands come back to the mat. Step back to your down dog. Inhale, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, forward fold. Pause here for a moment, opposite hand to opposite elbow. Maybe you gently sway side to side. Bringing a pretty generous bend to your knees here. However much you need to bend to allow your low back to release. If you notice your neck still feels a little tense or like it's hanging on, you can interlace your fingers, place them at the back of your skull, not forcing your neck down, but just a little pressure here to remind that crown of the head to release towards the mat. Next round of breath, releasing any bind or grip you may have. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, bend the knees and then reach up towards the sky. Exhale, draw your hands to heart center. Inhale, reaching up once more, back bend if you want it. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to your plank. Inhale in that plank. Exhale all the way to the mat. Untuck your toes. If locust feels good, you can take that, or press into your palms to lift your heart for cobra. Lifting just as high as feels good. Then back to the mat. Inhale, press up to your plank, toes or knees. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep right leg towards the sky. Exhale, step it between your hands, back foot parallel to the short edge of the mat. Arms come up to your shoulder height. Taking time here in this warrior two to make sure that your heart is centered over your hips. It's easy to want to lean forward in warrior two. Heart's over your hips, head's over your heart. Arms at shoulder height. Gaze drifts over your front fingers. Inhale, palm flips up, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Give yourself an extra breath here. Right arm overhead, back hand to the back leg or lower back. Next round of breath, right arm comes to that leg, left arm reaches overhead. Breathe here, nice and slow. Gently returning back to that warrior two. Straighten your front leg, turn your toes to face long edge of the mat. Hinge forward, wide-legged forward fold. Now, if it feels good just to hang here, opposite hand to opposite elbow, if you have a tight lower back, this might feel really nice. If you'd like to bring some stretching to that inner part of your thighs, inhale to half lift, shoulders up towards your hip height. Exhale, forward fold once more. Inhale here. Exhale, bend into your left knee. Shift your weight towards the side. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale to the other side. Exhale to center. Shifting between these side lunges. You might notice here using that breath to help you move nice and slow, passing through the middle. You may be able to start to sink just a bit deeper into each side. If it's feeling really good and you want to sink down to Skandasana, hip all the way towards your heels, you're welcome to. Just taking care that you plant your foot before you shift to the other side. Just taking care of your joints as you need to. Evening out on one more side. And then returning to center. Head hangs heavy. All of us meeting here. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, turn your toes, walk your hands back to the top of the mat. Low lunge. Left hand plants into the mat. Right arm sweeps towards the sky. Revolved low lunge. Giving yourself a moment here. Right fingertips reaching. Right hand comes back to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep left leg to sky. Exhale, step it between your hands. Warrior two on the other side. Back foot parallel to the short edge of the mat. Generous bend in that front knee. Heart, hips, and head all aligned here. Gaze drifts over that front middle finger. Inhale, left palm flips up, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior, left arm overhead. Stay here for a full round of breath. Next breath, left forearm to that front thigh, right arm overhead. Side angle, breathing here. If it feels good, you can always extend this bottom hand towards your bottom foot or lift it for a little more challenge. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Straighten that front leg, turn your toes to long edge of the mat. Wide-legged forward fold once more. Again, if it feels good to hang here, opposite hand to opposite elbow. If you'd like to bring in more of those side lunges, you're absolutely welcome to. We won't be here quite as long this time. But again, allowing one full breath on each side. So inhale, pass through center. Inhale on the other side. Exhale for center. Nice and slow. Giving yourself some control here. This is a hard angle for me to make eye contact with the camera, but you guys have got it. Again, allowing yourself to sink to Skandasana only if it benefits your practice. If it doesn't feel good, forget it. Pausing next time you're in center. Releasing the binder grip if you had it, if you were just hanging here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, turn your toes, walk your hands back to the top of the mat. Right hand plants into mat. Left arm sweeps towards the sky. Revolved low lunge. Breathing here, those fingertips lift. Then gently left hand back to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale to step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, root through your feet, reach towards the sky, tallest you've been today. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reaching up once more. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Plant your hands, step just your right foot back to start. Finding low lunge and then lifting to crescent. Draw your hands to heart center. Start to shift your weight forward. Warrior three. Back foot can be a kickstand or flex, or rather extended long behind you. If you've been taking the version where your back foot's a kickstand and you want to try some more balance, you can always bring your block at its highest setting in front of you, using that as a base for your hands, helping to extend your back leg. Wherever your back foot is though, flex your toes. Arms reach forward. Bit more of a balance challenge here. Challenging ourselves even in this gentle yoga. Next breath, bend into your front knee, lift back to crescent, hands to the mat, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, flat back, pause here. Exhale, hands to the mat, step just your left foot back this time. Lifting to crescent. Find your base here first. Draw your hands to heart center. Start to shift that weight forward. Warrior three. Again, taking care of yourself as you need to. Maybe using that block here is an extra support for your upper body so you can play with extending that back leg long. Maybe use the back foot as a kickstand. Sweeping your arms forward. Challenge that balance. Again, finding where you need to be. Reminding ourselves this side of our body might be totally different than the other side. Bend into your front knee. Return to crescent. Hands to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog once more. Give yourself a full round of breath in down dog. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, release out the mouth. Inhale, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, reach to the sky. Exhale, draw your hands to heart center. Taking that block behind you at its medium or highest setting, setting up for Malasana. Taking your feet wide once more, this time toes splay off at an angle, so pointing out at a diagonal. Inhale, reach your arms tall. Exhale, hands to heart center, sinking down to your Malasana. Hips finding that seat here. Using the block, even if you don't typically use it in this shape, but allowing it to help you here lift your heart. So again, we have heart stacked over the hips, head stacked over the heart. It's easy to want to lean forward in Malasana, especially if we don't have a block or we're pushing maybe past our edge. So just allowing yourself to use the gift here. Got the prop, might as well use it. Lengthening your spine. Finding an alignment that feels good. Give yourself one more full round of breath here. And as you're ready, slowly releasing that block out from under you. Seat finds the mat. Soles of the feet press together. Diamond shape, pretty familiar shape if you've done my practices. Heels walk away from your body. Hands rest at your shins or your ankle. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, hinge forward, and then allow your upper spine to round. Hands can rest on your toes, or in some bodies it feels good to bring your forearms under your shins. Reminding yourself here to be gentle with yourself, not forcing anything if it doesn't feel good. You might challenge yourself here. With each round of breath, can I sink maybe just like a millimeter deeper into this shape? Next round of breath, gently lifting your upper body out of that shape. Soles of the feet plant into the mat. Bring your block with you towards the middle of the mat. Lowering down here. Head, shoulders, hips, all supported by the mat. Soles of the feet press into the mat. And then lift your hips just high enough to slide that block under your sacrum at a height that feels supportive. I might suggest the lowest or the medium setting. If this causes any zinging or pinching, you can always return your hips towards the mat. Allowing yourself to feel here as if you're balancing on that block. We did a lot of active back bending with locus in particular, squeezing that back body. So just allowing yourself to bring some softness to the shape here. Hands might rest on your belly, maybe hands down by your hips. Next breath, lift your hips just high enough to release that block. Hips lower back to the mat. Hug your knees into your chest. Once again, feeling that low back pressing into the mat. And then hands can find the feet or the back of thighs for happy baby. You can add in any movement, gentle sways, or straightening one leg and then the other. Or if stillness feels good for your practice, allow yourself to stay here. Again, noticing or maybe encouraging yourself here to press that low back into the mat, giving it a little love. Give yourself about 3 more rounds of breath here. As that's complete for you, knees hug into your chest once more. Pull your right knee towards that right shoulder gently, and then left leg extends long. Just a little extra pressure here. Then guide your right knee over towards the left side of the body. Right arm can come out to a T or a cactus shape. Making any adjustments with your legs here that you need to sink into the pose. If it feels like your right knee is high above the floor and that doesn't feel good, you can always bring a block under that knee to support it, or a bolster. Encouraging yourself with each round of breath to melt just a bit deeper into this shape. Wait for your next inhale. Use it to draw yourself back towards center. Right knee into chest and then left knee meets it. Extend your right leg long, heel resting on the mat. Left knee hugs towards that left shoulder. Give yourself some time here. And then slowly guide that left knee over towards the right side of your body. Left arm can come out to a T or a cactus shape. Your gaze might drift over that left shoulder. But if that doesn't feel good in your neck, gaze can stay up towards the sky. Allowing yourself to sink in here. Awareness back to your breath. Inhale, pulls yourself back towards center. Both knees hug in once more. Little yogi hug, arms wrap around the shins, forehead up towards your knees, tight squeeze. Exhale, extend into Shavasana. Legs extend long, arms extend. Gently pull your tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Release any tension between your eyebrows. Bringing softness to your body. Allow yourself to just breathe here, and I'll let you know when it's time to come out. body can remain still. If it feels good and is available to you today, you're more than welcome to stay here and rest. If it's time to close out your practice, gentle movements like wiggling fingers and toes, rolling out your joints, extending arms overhead, toes opposite direction for a good morning stretch. Then allowing yourself to move slowly. Come to a fetal position on either side. Pausing there before you gently press up to an easy seat. Eyes can stay soft or closed. Enjoying these last few moments of practice, feeling into some gratitude for making time for yourself, showing up today and honoring your body with movement and with rest. We'll close with a collective breath. You can inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, draw your hands back to heart center. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Thank you for being part of this rad community. I hope you have a wonderful day.